Hi Monstars, I'm Coach Sarahbell and today we're going to tell another story with our yoga. Today's story is going to be Alice in Wonderland. We start on a beautiful sunny day. Can you show me the big sun? And Alice is sitting reading a book with her big sister. We're going to get our feet and our knees up like this, and we're going to open the book out like this. Very nice, and press your knees down into the ground. Excellent, beautiful. Now Alice gets very distracted when her sister's reading with her. She can never concentrate. She's always going off with the fairies. Can we wave our little butterfly wings? She watches the butterflies disappear off into the sun. And then something catches her eye. It's a bunny wearing a waistcoat with a pocket watch. How strange is that? Can we all try to be bunnies together? We're going to stand on our toes like this. We're going to put our hands on the ground like this, and we're going to bounce like bunnies and try and kick our bottoms up. Boop, like that. Can you bounce like a bunny? Good job, Monstars, well done. Alice watches the bunny, hopping. And she thinks, wow, isn't that curious? What a strange thing to see. Then she has a brilliant idea. She follows it. So she runs after the bunny. And then it disappears down a rabbit hole. But it's quite a big rabbit hole. And she thinks, maybe I can follow it down the rabbit hole too. So we're going to hop back into our bunny position. Now this is a very tricky one. We're going to put our hands on the ground, and then we're going to try and roll all the way over our heads. So we're going to try not to actually put our heads on the ground because we don't want to hurt our heads. We're going to tuck our head in like this and roll all the way over into the rabbit hole. Well done, Monstars. What a tricky move. Now, Alice falls down the rabbit hole. It feels like it takes hours. And eventually she lands, plop, on the bottom. And there's no sign of the rabbit anywhere, except that there's a little door. And she tries to get it open, but it won't open. Eventually it does open, and she looks inside and she sees, well, it's much too small for her to fit through. So she closes the door back up and she looks around, and suddenly a table appears just out of nowhere. Can we all do our tables together? We're going to sit on our bottoms with our feet here and our hands behind us, and we're going to lift our bottom up off the floor like this, like a table. Good job, Monstars. And on top of the table there's a bottle that says, "Drink me." Now, if you saw a bottle in a random hole that said, "Drink me," do you reckon you'd drink it? I don't think you should drink it. But Alice decided to drink it. And what happened to her is she got smaller and smaller. Can we all curl up in a tiny little ball? Really small. But she thought, whoa, finally I'll fit through the door. How fantastic. So she reached up, but she couldn't reach the door handle. Try the other arm. But the door handle was too tall now. She was too small. Then she looked over back at the table, and underneath the table was a little piece of cake that said, "Eat me." Now again, if I found a little piece of cake on the floor under a table, I probably wouldn't eat it, but Alice did. She took one bite out of it and she grew ginormous. Can everybody stand up on their feet and grow as tall as you can? as tall as you can. Try and touch the ceiling. She grew so big that she couldn't fit in the hole again. She couldn't go through the door. And then she started crying. She was so upset, this whole thing, the drinking the potion and the eating the cake. She just started bawling her eyes out, but she was so big that her crying made a river, a whole ocean of her tears. We're going to make an ocean together. We're going to kneel down on the ground. Are you ready? We're going to make a big wave. It goes like this. Whoosh. Very nice. Now, what kind of things do you find in an ocean? Sometimes we find seals, which sit like this, and they clap their hands. And they put their flippers on the floor and they push up. And they go back down. And they clap their hands. And then push up. Good job. Sometimes we find turtles in the ocean. Turtles like to hide in their shells. So we sit on our knees and we hide away in our turtle shells. And when they're feeling brave, they get their little flippers out. And then when they get scared, they hide away again. And when they're feeling brave, they come back out and hide away. Out you come. Good job, turtles. What else do we find in the ocean? What about crabs? Can we be crabs? Crabs sit like this on their toes and their knees out to the side, and we have little pincers. And they shuffle from side to side like this. Can you shuffle from side to side like this? Oh, it's very tricky. You've got to stay down really low. Good job. Well done. Alice saw all these creatures in her ocean of tears. And she took another drink of the potion and she got really small and swam in the ocean of tears past all of the weird creatures and finally washed up on shore. And as she was shaking all the water off, she saw the rabbit again and chased after him and chased him all the way to his house. Can you make your hands like a little house? Good job, Monstars. Now, he thought that she was his assistant or something and said, "Can you run inside and grab my gloves?" She was like, "Where are your gloves?" He said, "Where they always are. Go in and get them. Quickly, hurry up. I'm late. So she ran inside and she thought, "Oh, if I was a rabbit, where would I keep my gloves?" And then she found another cake. Now, I don't think she's a very smart little girl because she saw a cake in someone else's house and just decided to eat it after all of the trouble that she just went through with cakes and potions. But anyway, she took a bite of the cake and she grew so big that her feet popped out the windows and her arms popped out the top windows and she was stuck in the house. She tried to reach out. She tried to push her way out of the house. She tried to reach and grab some water to drink or a carrot, something that might make her small again. And finally, she managed to grab some carrots from the garden and ate them and shrunk down really small again and ran out of the house. And that's when she met the caterpillar. And the caterpillar liked to sit on his big mushroom and go, "Who are you?" And she was like, "I don't even know anymore." She was all confused and tired and scared. But the caterpillar taught her how to control whether she was big or small. He said, "If you take a piece from the top of the mushroom, it'll make you grow bigger. And if you take a piece from the bottom of the mushroom, it'll make you grow smaller. And if you only eat a tiny little bit at a time, it'll help you to get back to a normal size. What a smart caterpillar. Can we all try and be caterpillars together? All you have to do to be a caterpillar is lie on your tummy, put your hands behind you, and then we're going to lift our bottoms up. Are you ready? We're going to lift our bottoms up. Ooh. And back down again. And lift our bottom up. And back down again. Good job. And they can walk by lifting their bottoms up. And wriggling forwards. Lift their bottoms up. And wriggle forwards. Good job, monsters. Well done. Okay. Then, the caterpillar whirled up into a swirl of smoke and turned into a butterfly and flew away. Can you all show me your hands like this? And then turn and show yourself your hands. Crisscross them over and link your thumbs together. And we're going to make our butterflies. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Off goes the butterfly and flies away, leaving Alice alone to figure out what to do next. Now she's getting a bit tired at this point and kind of just wants to go home. But she keeps walking through the big forest, and eventually she hears some strange singing and happens upon the Mad Hatter having a tea party with his best friend, the March Hare. Can everybody pretend to put a big hat on their head like this? Good job. And can everybody do flippy floppy hair ears like this? Well done. And they're having a tea party for their unbirthday, which is every single day other than your birthday. You have your birthday one day a year, and all the other days are your unbirthday. Can we all try and be teapots together? Do you reckon we could do that? We're going to sit on our knees, up nice and tall, and put one hand on our hip and one hand as the spout of the teapot. Okay, here's where it gets tricky. You got to put one leg out for balance, and we're going to tip the tea out into the teacup, like that. Try again. Out goes the tea. Very nice, well done. Now we have to pour some tea for Alice as well now that she's come to join the tea party. Let's try the other way. Put your leg out to the side and your spout, and we'll tip the tea out. Very nice. And one more. Tip the tea out. Good job. Well done, monsters. Alrighty. So Alice joins the March Hare and the Mad Hatter for their unbirthday tea party. And eventually, even they get too crazy for her. They're constantly changing spots and sitting on different seats and going crazy. Also, they have cakes there, and I think she's a little bit tired of cake at this point. So she sets off again into the forest, and that's when she meets the Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat has a huge big smile. Can you show me your big smiles? Very nice. We're going to make an even bigger smile altogether. We're going to lie on our tummies and put our hands up and our feet up. Arch our back to make a huge big Cheshire Cat smile. Good job, monsters. Well done. All right, coming down. Now we're going to do our kitty cats. So we put our knees on the floor and our hands on the floor, and our happy cats have arched backs and look up at the sky with a big smile. Meow. And our grumpy cats look down at the floor, arch your back up and go grumpy cats. And happy cats arching her back up, look up at the sky. Alice and the Cheshire Cat had a lovely conversation. Alice told the cat about all of the crazy things that had happened, and she said, I think I'm going mad. And the Cheshire Cat said, oh, we're all mad here. And then he disappeared and just turned into a big smile. And then the smile turned into the moon. Poor Alice thought she was going absolutely crazy. So at this point, she really just wanted to get home. She wandered off down the road further and further and further. And eventually, she came across a deck of cards, like playing cards, except they had legs and heads and arms. And they were painting rose bushes. How strange. We're all going to be rose bushes together. So this is just like our trees, but we're going to do something very interesting with our hands. Can you spread your fingers out like this? And then we're going to put our little fingers together and our thumbs together and make a rose. Excellent, well done, Monstars. And from here, we're going to lift one foot up and put it on top of the other foot and balance. Well done. If you're feeling really steady and stable, you can lift that foot up even higher. Ooh. So, Alice comes across these cards that are painting the rose bushes. She says, "What are you doing?" They said, "We're painting the roses red because we accidentally planted white roses. And the Queen doesn't like white roses, so we have to paint them red before she gets here." Let's try the other foot. Put one foot on top of the other. And then if you want to, you can lift it all the way up. So Alice gives them a hand and helps them paint all of the roses red. And eventually, they get them all painted. Look at this beautiful forest of red roses. Just in time too, because along comes the Queen. We're going to do a very tricky move for this one. It's a bit like the tree. We balance on one foot, but this foot is going to wrap all the way around this foot until it pops out on the other side. Whoa! You can bend your knees too, that makes it a little bit easier. And our hands are going to crisscross over like this and be a crown on top of our heads. Good job, Queens. Well done. We're going to try and balance just for a second. Let's try the other side, because you always have to do it on the other side, even when it's tricky. I'm going to wrap this leg all the way around. Bend your knees. Wibble, wobble, wibble, wobble. And put the crown on your head. Excellent job, Monstars. Well done. Good job. So along comes the Queen. And she looks at the roses. And she goes, "Okay, well, I like red roses, so that's okay. Now it's time to play a game of croquet." Alice goes, "What?" And out come a whole lot of flamingos and hedgehogs. Now firstly, what on earth is croquet? Croquet is kind of like golf, but you have little hoops that they have to go through instead of into the holes. But in this place, instead of using actual croquet sticks, they used flamingos. How strange. We're going to be flamingos now. So we're going to put one hand on up here like this with a little beak, and one hand behind us like this to be a little tail feather. And flamingos always stand on one foot like this. Can you be a flamingo? Well done. Excellent. Let's try our flamingos on the other side. Are you ready? We're going to put one hand up in the sky, one hand behind, and up comes our leg. Well done. Good job, everybody. So the Queen uses these flamingos. She gets them nice and straight, turns them upside down, holds them by the legs, and boop. But instead of hitting a ball like you normally do in croquet, she hits little hedgehogs that go rolling around on the ground and through the little tunnels. We're going to make those tunnels now. We're going to do our doggy pose with our hands and our feet on the ground and our bottoms up in the air like a tunnel. And we have to make sure our tunnel's nice and big so that the hedgehogs can roll through it. Because if the hedgehogs don't go through the hole, the Queen gets very, very angry. And do you know what the Queen says when she's angry? She says, "Off with your head!" And she takes their heads off. She takes their heads off the cards. How scary is that? We're going to do our off with our head poses. You can do this standing up or sitting down. You're going to put your hand on top of your head like this. And tip your head to the side. Good job. This is our off with your heads. Let's try it the other side. Are you ready? The other hand on your head. Tip it to the side. Very good job. So everyone was very, very scared of this Queen. No one really liked her very much. And neither did Alice. She got sick of it pretty quickly, so she decided to run away. She ran. And as she was running, all of the cards and the Queen were following her and chasing after her, yelling, "Off with her head, off with her head!" And suddenly everything got all wishy-washy all over the place. And finally, she opened her eyes. And there she was, sitting outside with a book in her lap again. She took a deep breath. Thank goodness that was over. She decided to just lie down under the sun for a little while and watch the clouds go past. Let's all lie down on our backs with our knees up and watch the clouds go past. If you're inside, you can imagine the clouds. And she saw clouds that looked like bunny rabbits and cats. And she saw clouds that looked like Mad Hatters and March Hares. What kind of clouds can you see? Together, we're going to blow all of the clouds away. We're going to take a deep breath and blow the clouds away. Let's try that again. Take a deep breath and blow the clouds away. And one more time, take a deep breath. Blow the clouds away. And when you're ready, you can sit up. Well done, Monstars. Thank you for doing some story time with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!